Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel. Today we're going to be playing 20 licks for Jambalaya. So we're going to run through 20 different licks that you can use, including different ways of playing the melody, different ways of playing rhythm, intro, outro and some filling licks. So this song was recorded in 1952 by Hank Williams and the fiddler was Jerry Rivers. And Jerry Rivers played on the intro, he played the solo and he played some of the backing. He played along with pedal steel, and the pedal steel did a lot of the fills, but we're going to look at ways to do fills as well as doing rhythm and different versions of the solo. So here's the original fiddle intro. So let's go through that slowly. We're starting off with a C with a G underneath it. And then we're going to, so that's a B with a D under it, and we're doing a little grace note. So, and then a triplet, octave G, open A and D, another triplet, and that's a C with an E above it. Give you that again and then we'll do it with the backing. 1, 2, 3. Now before we go on, let's play the melody of the verse and the chorus. This doesn't count as one of your licks, but it's a good thing to know. So you'll notice the verse and the chorus are pretty much the same. The main difference being that the chorus starts off high on an E, the verse starts off on an A, but there's quite a lot of inconsistency in the singing. So the way that one verse is sung might differ slightly from the way the next verse is sung, and likewise with the chorus. So I suppose the important thing is to know both of those versions, but not really worry about which one you're actually doing at any one point. Let's look at the original outro, which is played on the steel. So we're going from, and here we go. So really simple outro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So if you're going to do an outro, that's as good as anything. But I will show you an alternative. Now let's look at some alternatives to the original intro. So your simplest possible intro, I would say, is this. 1, 2, 3. So if you play that, everyone knows what the song is immediately, everyone knows where they are, the rest of the band is going to come in just in the right place. So that's perfectly good as an intro. Now let's look at some fills. So I'll show you the first two fills which come after the first two vocal phrases, and they're on the G chord and the C chord, and then we'll look at some alternatives. Now, alternatives. Here's a couple more alternatives. So really any simple phrase like that, but basically at that length and in that position is going to work nicely. And you'll notice that I put little blue notes in all four of those alternative licks. So that's a blue note for G major, and that's a blue note for C, and then the same blue note, and that's the blue note of C again. So that's the place to put your licks. Don't try and play all the way over all of the verses and choruses. Try and fill those spaces. Now a backing which is not fills but is long notes. Let's have a look at that. So that's really easy. We're just finding double stops for C. That's your first one, E with the G100. Open G, open D, the G chord, and then an alternative to that, a D with a B above it, and an E with a C above it for the C. So that's your easiest fiddle backing. An intermediate level backing will be something like this. So I'll go through that. For your C, we've got that same E with the G100, and then C with the E100, and then for the G, that's a B with the D100, open A, open D, and here's a double stop G with B100. So that's a rundown from third and second finger, second and first finger open. I'll just do that again. And because verse and chorus are the same, all of these long lines will fit all the way through any part of the verse and chorus. Now let's look at a slightly more advanced fiddle backing. So this is lick 12. Again. You'll notice that here I'm doing a mixture of double stops and drones. Double stop, drone, double stop, drone. And here I'm going down what I call the scale of sixths, which I described in I think my last video. So that's the scale, which is really useful for creating instant harmonies. So I'll give you that last line again. And that gives you this nice fat sound, which is a good match for the pedal steel. It's a lot nicer than just playing single lines. Now let's have a look at some shuffles that you can do. This is a very much Cajun number, and we'll look at what's often called the Cajun shuffle, which is based on the Nashville shuffle, which is something I haven't yet done a video about, but I will do one day. It's basically a da 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 da. So it's alternating long downs and ups with two shorts. So that's your long down, two shorts, long up. So that is a E with a C above it. Then when we go to the G, we choose the adjacent pattern, which is a B with a D under it. So I'll give you that up to speed. Etc. Now we can elaborate that, so we're going to drop on and off the first finger on the C chord, and the bow we're doing now is the Georgia shuffle. So that's 3 slur, 1 single, 3 slur. So now all of the accents are going the same way instead of alternating. When we get to the G, we're taking the first finger off the A string. So before we were going up and down on the D string, now it's up and down on the A string. Now, lick 15, another alternative shuffle which is more Cajun, is to do a bit of a slide up to the E on the D string. So we're doing that twice in a bar. When we get to the next chord, so we now got an open G drone, and we're doing, that's a little scale up to the G. Now, people who know real Cajun music will throw their hands up in horror at the simplicity of this kind of pattern, but this is the way that Nashville approaches Cajun music. So it's perfectly acceptable, I think, in this context, to play this hammed-up version of Cajun shuffling. So let's do all three of those together and up to tempo. Now let's look at the solo. The solo is a very short one, it's just basically the verse. So I'll give you three versions, a easy, a medium and a slightly more advanced. So the easy solo, I'll give you with the chords. I think you'll agree sounds remarkably like the verse and the chorus. And if you want an easy solo, that's the approach to take. Just stay as close as possible to the melody itself. Your intermediate solo is the same thing again, but slightly decorated. So we've got some double stops. So basically we're just selecting which is easier, either a double stop or a drone, and I'm putting that in. So putting an E underneath the A, G drone, G drone, D drone, G drone, and you can repeat that more or less exactly for the second half of it. So I'll show you now the more advanced solo, and we'll do it slowly first. So basically I'm mixing up the melody with the shuffle. So again, and I'm putting in a double A, either with your second finger or fourth finger. Now shuffle. And shuffle again. And then you can carry on. Something like that. So any variation of the shuffles will work as a fill between the vocal melody, which you're also playing. I'll just give you that with the backing. Now let's do a solo in the upper octave, because that solo we just did, being lower down, is not going to cut through very well. So let's run through this slowly to start with. So, some third position and some tricky double stops. I'll go through it again. That's a parallel fifth, and then that's G with D under it. Here you can do this with third finger and fourth finger. Then staying in third position. Third finger and second finger, down into first position, second finger stays on, back to third, and then slide down a half a position, and again, I'll just give you that, and then up, fourth finger and third finger, let's just run through that. Finally an outro, which is something we can do entirely in third position. So we're starting off with the C on the E string, third position. Second finger slides down, second finger, then third finger is sliding up. I'll I'll give you that again. One more time. 2, 3, 4. So that's quite a nice little outro. I hope you enjoyed this. Go back through and see if you can master all of these variations and mix them up. Choose which suits your level of playing. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you again soon.